What is up, homie? Welcome, you ugly sex face, to the channel. It's Quinn Stallworth, aka Presidentq. Yo, you want to be the best Lucio out there? Let me show you a couple of tips. Now, I'm not the best at teaching, but a lot of people like how I play Lucio. So it's only right I show you how to take your Lucio to the next level. Now, I'm not gonna brag about my accolades and accomplishments because I'm not the type to gasconade. So I'm just gonna show you ways to raise your skill cap with Lucio and be able to do more than just heal and stay alive. Now, most of these won't help you gain popularity or notoriety, but you shouldn't be playing support for the spotlight anyways. Leave the ego rubbing to the DPS mains, am I right? Just kidding. Okay, here we go, baby. Let's break it down. Yeah. Okay, this first tip's for all you console players out there. You might want to switch your boot button with your jump button and your jump button with your boot button. You're looking at me like, wait, what? But that's weird. Now, I know, it may feel weird, but after a while, it will start to become comfortable. At first, you may not like it, but this definitely will give you more flexibility within Lucio's kit. If you change these buttons around, even up your sensitivity a little bit, you'll be more capable of shooting while wall riding and get into high places a little bit smoother. As Lucio, you want high ground as much as possible so you can look for chances to make those really clutch plays. I'll get into the clutch aspect of Lucio in a second, but for now, let's move on to the next tip. Number 2, make sure that backwards wall riding is on and don't over wall ride. Don't be fooled by players like DSP or if you ever watched me play. Wall riding isn't as necessary as you may believe, but being able to face your enemy while also being able to get a good distance from them is a great tool to have. Now be careful when you use your wall riding ability, because wall riding can make your movement very predictable, and the higher the skill level, the more unpredictable you want your wall riding to become. The higher up you get in SR, the more you want to mix your strafing in with a little bit of ducking and a little bit of wall riding to throw in there. You don't want to just wall ride or just jump because it makes you so predictable that these McCrees are going to take your head off. A good tip is to practice all this stuff that I'm telling you in quick play or to go against some AI in a custom game. Maybe put the difficulty on hard or something and wall ride around a lot of the maps in the skirmish mode so you can figure out how to get comfortable and how to get to places that can help you and make you more convenient to your team. Tip number 3, clutch speed boost. Most people on your team will never know how powerful speed boost is and never know the impact of it on the game, but it's just something you feel. Now, knowing the difference between a decent Lucio and great Lucio is the speed boost utilization. I'm pretty sure you've heard that before. Lucio is one of the only heroes that has synergy with every hero on the roster. Use speed boost after a friendly Reinhardt or Zarya has ulted to get your distant teammates in optimal position, or even to save your team's butts from almost any enemy team's ultimate. McCree's High Noon, Forest Justice, Dragon Strike, and even more. Use speed boost to catch the enemy off guard by speed boosting past the tough choke point, or to retreat if you're outnumbered and you don't want anybody to die and feed the other team ultimate. There are many more ways to use clutch speed boost. I can make a guide on speed boosts alone, but me talking about speed boost doesn't mean you should forget about healing. Don't forget to heal before, after, or amp it during a fight. Otherwise, you should be on speed boost. Your speed or usage should be roughly 65% of the time, due to its strong initiation and pacing advantages. But let's move on. Tip number 4, go for every single clutch play. Are you that Lucio that has a low amount of environmental kills or holds your ultimate for way too long? Well, here's a good way to figure out what to do and what not to do. Go for the high risk play. That's right. Try to boot people off high ground cliffs, charging Reinhardt, Roadhogs after they hooked your teammate, or even boop an enemy to knock their aim off or put them in the middle of your team. All of that, go for it. Of course, try all this against AI, quick play, and scrimmages. Don't throw the game in a competitive game because you're trying to go for that crazy boot. But learn when and when you cannot go for those clutch boots. And as for your ultimate, it can counter almost every ultimate in the game that doesn't sustain. And what I mean by sustain is an ultimate that continues over time. I'm talking about Reaper, Zarya, Pharah, etc. Anything that doesn't burst. So every time you have a chance, try to use your ult clutchly. Try to land that ult right before the tracer bomb goes off, before that riptide blows up your teammate, the earth shatter lands. Ult every single one of them. Even if your team is losing a fight, watch their health and ultimate when you can save multiple high priority teammates. I'm talking your main healer, tanks, main DPS. I want you to go for as many clutch plays as possible. Go for the stupidly ridiculous boop that you have a 10% chance of getting a kill with. Because once you find out what works and what doesn't work, you can modify your timing and safety accordingly. So start off really aggressive when you're getting to learn Lucio. Then tone it down as you learn the rights and wrongs of what and what not to do and how to be clutch as Lucio. Become that playmaker that I know you can be. Now, number 5, the final tip is to work on your aim. That's right, work on that aim. I always see these hyperactive Lucios just twirling around their cursor. Don't do that. Actually look to get those kills, man. Now I get it, Lucio does less than 20 damage per orb and 70 damage per shot if you land all those shots. But if you do land those shots, it can actually change a team fight. Flankers harassing your backline, nail a couple of headshots and boops and they'll be spamming, "I need healing," and running right back to their team. If you can't kill stuff, that's fine. That's not your job. But if you don't have your ultimate, dish out as much annoying damage as possible to soften up the enemy for your damage dealers. And if the enemy has low health, go for the kill. Unless you have to overextend to get it, then it's not worth it. Not recognizing when you get rid of your own safety is where many Lucios slip up, including me. The gamble's not worth it. Dealing damage is great, but stay behind the big dogs when you shoot, or there will be a Roadhog hook, Hanzo arrow, or a flashbang waiting for you at the end of that overextension. At least at the high ranks. You might be able to get away with that a little bit in the mid to low rank. Now at the end of all these tips, guys, remember, you are a support. Everything you do is to keep your team alive and yourself alive as long as possible. It's kinda your job. As Lucio, you're the backbone of this team, and I trust you to do your job. So make yourself better by following all these tips. I hope these 5 quick tips helped you on your road to becoming a mini DSP Stanky or Presidentq 2.0. Go try out some of these tips I've told you, and let me know if you want a guide on more heroes or even more Lucio tips. I put my heart and soul into these videos, so if you could give me a like or subscribe, I'd love it. This has been your president, Presidentq, and we out.